Let's get to the death toll from the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria. That's now surpassed 21,000 as hopes dim that rescuers will find many more people alive. Meanwhile, investors in Turkey are also grappling with the fallout as markets remain closed. Bloomberg's Simone Foxman has the latest on this. Simone, give us a bit of an update.
Well, thankfully, we are continuing to see some rescue crews bring a small number of people out of the rubble still alive. So that's the positive here. But there's lots of anger mounting among the public, among the affected public, against President Recep Tayyip Erdogan as well as his government. Not just for the response, his slow response has been criticized, but also for what's happened over the last 2 decades. There have been a poor enforcement of construction building codes that came into place after the 1999 earthquake disaster, and people angry about that now too. But from an investment perspective, yes, the Borsa Istanbul remains closed and will be until next Wednesday. The Turkish lira hasn't moved that much, and economists warn, we're not going to see that much of an impact here because of some of the backdoor tightening measures that the central bank has on. But where we are seeing movement is in the MSCI Turkey UCITS. The iShares MSCI Turkey UCITS is the proper name. That trades in London. We did see a little bit of a gain yesterday after a week really of losses, pretty steep losses earlier. Also, if you check out our chart, GTV Go for clients, you'll see that there just hasn't been this belief that there's a ton of credit risk associated with what's happened here. 5-year CDS, roughly the same for the last couple of days. That said, Fitch says $4 billion potentially in losses here, up to 5.5% of GDP, according to Bloomberg Economics. This is a story we are going to continue to watch as the focus goes from rescue to the long-term fallout.
And to Egypt, markets moved after we saw a little bit of data come through showing an acceleration in inflation in January. What are the details there?
Yeah, extraordinary amounts of inflation. Yes, we expected inflation to go higher, but at least in food and bev, maybe not this high. Some 48% rise in prices of food and beverages in the past year. A 26% roughly the headline number, and 31% was the core number when you strip out food and energy costs. So prices going higher, that's clear. That's something that investors actually welcome a fair bit because they take it to mean that means there are going to be more rate hikes ahead. Many investors very disappointed that the central bank did not hike rates last week. Now we're getting inflation data still coming in really hot. And so that's why many economists believe we'll see 200 basis points plus in just the next couple of months. And Goldman Sachs saying they wouldn't be surprised if we saw an unscheduled rate hike. The next meeting, March 30th, so we could see some action between now and then.
And then we've got Reuters reporting that Germany and Oman are in advanced talks to sign a long-term liquefied natural gas supply deal. How significant would that be?
Yeah, so this is actually a lot of supply from the Omani side, not as much when we think of Germany's broader needs for natural gas, about 3% replacement of what it used to get from Russia by pipeline. But it's significant in part because of who is talking here. We understand from this reporting that Uniper may be involved. Remember, Germany nationalized that utility late last year. In the past, when we've seen LNG supply contracts with Germany, if you look at Qatar, for example, with which ConocoPhillips signed a deal to supply Germany with LNG. That was ConocoPhillips. That wasn't the German government. That wasn't anything close. So the idea that the German government in some way through Uniper may be involved, kind of interesting. This deal apparently would run for about 10 years, be about between 500,000 and 1 million tons per annum of LNG. Does this signal some broader willingness on the Germans' part for the long-term contracts that they've so far spurned? I think we'll have to see as this deal comes in and maybe other ones in the future.